Hello, lovelies. Welcome back to 31 Days of Tarot with day 24. And this is your top 5 tarot books from the decade 2010 to 2019. Now, as most of you know, I cannot do top 5 anything. I can do favorite depiction, yay me. But, so I'm gonna mention 5 fabulous books. Tarot books specifically. I didn't include Oracle this time because this is gonna be a little repetitive from the books that you have read, like tarot books, but I included Oracle there, no, like that I read in 2019. So I struggled a little bit with the list because it's only 5, but I narrowed it down, and here we go. From Rachel Pollack, 78 Degrees of Wisdom. This was a new edition that was recently reprinted. I think every tarot person I know has read this book. Like, no kidding. Like in Mexico, in the US, in Europe, in Australia, in all over the world. Like, people know this book. And even if they haven't read it, they have heard of it, they have read extracts, they know Rachel Pollack. She's amazing. Anyhow, I think this one, I mean, for sure, this is a must. Like, it's the basics. So I debated between this one and Tarot Wisdom, but I went with this one. So this is one of the core ones. Now, other book that I'm in love with is the Wild Messengers guidebook. And this is a guidebook specific for a deck, yes, but it has, like, you can use it for any deck, seriously. Like, it has like the alchemical information, and then like the zebra prompts, the journaling prompts, and it's like, then it has like little snippets like this animal is talking. It's just wonderful, like seriously wonderful. The book is like gorgeous, no, like the cover, the back, the production quality, no, it has a little bookmark. Some, I know I'm talking about the technical details, but I mean, this book was like written, like for example, you see there, Narwhal Speaks. It's just amazing. It shows a different insight into tarot from a very, yeah, a wild animal perspective, but also with the alchemical. So I think that's just beautiful, beautifully done, beautiful put together. Now, talking about guidebooks, I have to mention the Marielle. This is the second edition. I'm showing the second edition, well, because this is hand signed, so I'm bragging, sorry. I was very jealous when I heard like someone had like a signed copy. I'm like, oh, I want one. And the universe was kind enough to hear, and I was able to get one. This one is illustrated in color. That's the one of the difference with the first edition. It has some corrections, and I think they corrected the keywords, and of course it has the updated cards. I just love it. What I really like about the Marielle, it's that, and I think I should do another video on that. We talk about 3 main systems, right? We talk about the Rider-Waite-Smith, we talk about Thought, and we talk about Marcel. And there are a few decks like Marielle that do their own thing. I think Marielle is a little bit between Rider-Waite-Smith and Marcel. I love how she structures, and when you get the deck, you can see, no? She has all the aces, all the twos, all the threes, all the fours, all the fives, no? And so she's doing that, no? So you get the ace of cups, the ace of discs, no? The two, and then you move, no? To 2 of wands, 2 of swords, 2 of cups, 2 of discs. And I think that rings, no? This is one of the cards that was changed. And I just think like reading her insights, no? Into how she structured and how she sees each card, no? And you can see many guidebooks are very close to Rider-Waite-Smith. This one is actually taking a leap and departing a little. So I think it's an excellent new new quote unquote, right, from the decade perspective. So this is one of my favorite guidebooks as well. No, the Marielle. Oh, okay, it's gonna stay there. Now, talking about creating, and following a different system, we have Tarot on Earth by Tom Benjamin. Our dear Tom B. What can I say? I love this book. I actually haven't, I started reading it and I reserved to, so the exercises are still blank. I'm not sure if I have trouble like writing on books. So I was taking my notes in a separate notebook, but I think I'm gonna concede and break like right on the book. It's just a little hard. I love, I think, lesson 4 when it says about math. Yeah, lesson 4, math. And it says, don't panic. This will be fun and easy math. Or if not easy, it should at least be fun. That like really made me laugh. I actually, I think I've mentioned this before. I really love math. So this was awesome. I love that it's like super easy to read. And it has the exercises for you to discover your own meanings, for you to create your own system now into Marcel. And I think that's wonderful, and that's a real like guidebook, because I think we've mentioned this, like there is no right or wrong way to do tarot. You have your way. As long as, I think the only unspoken rule is be consistent. Be consistent, be true to yourself, be true to your system, and you will get excellent readings and you will give excellent readings. No, but it's like if you say this card means this and you stick with that because it's gonna work. Just don't keep changing, you know. Like if you get a card and you're like, oh well, in this case it's gonna mean this, but you're like, but you read it always like the other way. So that's the only thing that can, and it only backfires on us. So that's the only thing I would say. No, like develop your meanings, work with that, and be consistent with your system. Now, last but not least, I have to mention, okay, your own notebook, your own, like, this is from when I took a class. No, this is like what I was working on. So these are, yes, the teachings from the teacher, from the professor, but also my interpretation, my exercises. It has my notes, my ideas, my little input. And then if you keep constructing this, no, so maybe your journals, when you are doing readings for yourself, when you are doing readings from others, no, and you have that insight to write them down, no. Of course, don't share ethical reasons, right? If you do a reading for others and you don't have permission to share it, well, don't. But I mean, share what you have, like what is yours and you want to, and what you have permission to share from others. No, so no, this has been wonderful. I think I left the space here, yeah. And then here I have like other notes. So as this has just been like so wonderful, like reading into my own notes, and I have taken different courses. So for example, this one is another. This one actually has more practical readings, no, from Celtic Cross and all that, and just little snippets, no. I would put like some notes, and I would love to go back and read some of them because sometimes I make funny notes. But yeah, no, like examples, and I think that has to be, no, I already said this, but that has to be some of your best books, like the one you create yourself, for yourself, to begin with, and maybe then you can write a book for others. So I hope this is helpful. I'm eager to see your top 5 or fabulous 5 or favorite 5 guidebooks for tarot. So see you in the next one. Mwah. Bye, lovelies.